world there are more devotees of Krishna than there are of Ram. And I tell you the reason. The reason is Ram was a goody-goody, all straightforward, follow the rules. The second one came with the opposite, if you like, opposite agenda, break the rule. He was in a playful mood. He broke, you see, we like the naughty ones more than we like the goody-goody. They are more endearing, they catch our attention, they steal our hearts. And the story of Krishna is that. That's why there are more devotees of Krishna. He shows this dynamism, that not is God here only to fulfill, to follow by the rules that he set. He is here to break the rules that he set, because he is God. He can mess about. Krishna. So we're talking about Krishna. What are the key features, significance of Krishna? First of all, the same old thing. Avatar, coming down to earth. And Bhagavad Gita says his own text. Quoting chapter 4, verses 6, using my Maya, I come down. Verses 7 and 8, why do I come down? To re-establish, to invoke and infuse spirituality in our society. So what are the key features about this Krishna that we find so endearing? The first one, the key feature, just as Ram is called Adarsh Purushottam, Krishna is called Leela Purushottam. Leela. This is a powerful term that comes out in the Vedantic philosophy that tells you this is how you resolve the human condition. You can explain everything away under the umbrella of the word Leela. What is Leela? And this idea becomes visible in the life and story of Krishna, not in the story of Ram. In the story of Krishna, becomes very visible. He said, do you know why all this creation? This has been puzzling you, hasn't it? Why does God create all these human beings and let them go up and down the journey of life? Such a tricky thing. Why does he bother? He said, because he likes to play. This is all his play. The play is sometimes because the play doesn't become interesting unless it sometimes becomes very harsh. It's like watching your, soap opera. If things were going goody-goody, you'll soon lose interest. You have a villain messing everybody up. And then the soap opera becomes interesting. In the play of life, this is what they're saying, Leela. The play becomes interesting when you see some places things are very rough and some places things are very pleasant. Both are necessary to make it interesting. You may say this is a cop-out. Surely, why is God bothering? Then the Hindus say, answer, go and ask him. We don't know. Blunt answer to a blunt question. But the idea of Leela is this, precisely this. It's not God only saying, I will play by the rules that I'm setting, like with Ram. He's saying, I will break because I am that. I am the one who created the rule. I can break them. I show you my majesty. Leela Purushottam. So you see Ram, little Krishna from the young days, breaking all the rules, very naughty, stealing butter, doing weird things, and he's still allowed and we smile and say, oh, God can do that. It makes it more endearing. It becomes more attractive to us through all these fun and games. There are more serious features to Krishna that becomes very visible in his life and his teachings, and these are these. You see, in the time of Ram, as I said, we see this evolution from the animal to the human to the divine or idealistic. In the story of Krishna, when he came around, what did he observe? He saw that we were getting lost in ritualism. We became kind of strongly fixated on carrying out rituals, yajna, and sacrificing, and appeasing all these gods and goddesses, this Indra and Vayu and Varun. And he said, come on. The resolution of the human condition is not appeasing this thing up there, but resolving it using our human faculties here and now. So you see this in this funny story with Krishna saying, don't worship Indra. Let him throw the thunderbolts at us. Don't worry. So you see this idea of standing up against meaningless, mechanical ritualism, feature of Krishna. Very important. So shows the significance. There's a second feature where it becomes very visible in the story of Krishna, and it's this. You see, before Krishna, the way you become spiritual was to leave society in the time of Ram. The way you become spiritual is leave society and go into the forest and meditate, and like the story before Krishna, this is how people became spiritual. They had to abandon society and walk away. Krishna said, no, if spiritual is underpinning to this world, it should be possible to be as kind of worldly, interact with this real world, don't run away from it, and yet be spiritual, yet invoke spirituality in the way you lead your lives. Your attitude and your action should be such that spirituality becomes revealed in your day-to-day life. Making religion, bringing it into our daily lives. Feature of Krishna. He brought spirituality into the marketplace, not left in the forest and the caves of India. He said society must be spiritualized. Second key feature of Krishna. There's a third feature for which we must give him full marks. Before the time of Krishna, various ideas of spirituality were lying scattered. The Upanishads, 108 Upanishads, giving different, if you like, angles on the idea of spirituality. And they were lying, kind of waving in the air, loosely tied, not properly reconciled. With Krishna, the whole thing was reconciled. He tied it up. One personality tied it all up through the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the reconciliation of all the ancient teachings of the Upanishad. In one text, he managed to capture the essence of all the Upanishads and reconcile them. So the idea of God with form, idea of God without form as Atman and Brahman, all these ideas, he put it all together marvelously in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is in fact the modern expression of Hinduism because it is a book of pluralism. It allows you to relate to spirit in a variety of different ways, not only relate or perceive it differently, but also to progress spiritually in a variety of different ways. So you see all these four pathways, the four yogas that Sita was talking about, the margas, the different pathways. Again, where is it visible? Bhagavad Gita. But the difference in the Bhagavad Gita is this. In the previous scriptures, they were kind of focusing on meditation and intellect. In the Upanishads focus on meditation and intellect, in intellectualizing spirituality. With Bhagavad Gita comes the two other things that are missing. The idea that through devotion to the super personality, you can become a spiritual person. You can, if you like, uplift yourself spiritually by linking to a personality. Devotion, bhakti became very visible. The fourth thing that becomes visible, which is perhaps most crucial, is this idea of action. Do not go and hide in the cave and meditate on God. Open your eyes and interact with society. And the way you interact with society through action will, if you like, invoke spirituality in society and in yourself. This idea of selfless work, selfless activity, karma marg. He emphasized karma marg and bhakti marg, which were missing in the Hindu tradition during his time. He brought them back. He gave them a great deal of emphasis. So pluralism is the key feature of Krishna. These are the kind of various aspects to Krishna that you can mention.